Nigeria, welcome to Newsline. I am Becky Madujemu. It's a pleasant evening here in Lagos. Hope the weather is just as fine where you are. All right. More than a week ago, the footage of a physically challenged young lady selling pure water in streets of Lagos appeared on social media. It went viral, and with that came support. We have the scoop on what's been happening to her since the story went public. There's a dramatic piece about a family in Imo State that adopted a ferocious animal. I'm sure you're wondering if it's possible to adopt an animal. Wait patiently for the explanation. And of course, heinous crimes keep occurring. A woman does the worst to her neighbor in a bid to raise rent money. A wife sends her husband to the other side over a disagreement. And a cleric gets brought down by a jealous husband. There's so much more coming, but let's give attention to the news first. Elizabeth Omori is reading. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Becky. Thanks for joining us on the news segment of the program. The federal government is making moves to recruit more soldiers and deploy adequate equipment to the military for effective positioning and proactive measures in the ongoing counterinsurgency operations in the Northeast. Minister for Defense Major General Bashir Magashi retired stated this when he led service chiefs on operational visit to the Theatre Command Operation Lafia Dole in Maiduguri. Mohammed Ibrahim reports.
This is the first combined operational visit by the Minister of Defense, General Bashir Magashi, retired, in company of the Chief of Defense Staff and service chiefs to include Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of the Air Staff and representative of the Chief of Naval Staff. The first port of call of the Minister was the Military Command and Control Center, Operation Lafia Dole, where the theater commander, Major General Farouk Yahaya, briefed him on ongoing operation activities for first-hand assessment and interaction with troops. The delegation thereafter entered a closed-door operational briefing meeting with commanders of component units of the Theatre Command Operation Lafia Dole. While addressing troops, the Minister of Defense extended President Buhari's appreciation for their sacrifices amidst numerous challenges and assured that the federal government will support soldiers with necessary equipment.
We can improve the manpower holding of our armed forces. We will bring new equipment, new skills, in which I would like all of you to benefit from, to enable you be more proficient, more effective in this assignment you are doing.
General Magashi also visited wounded soldiers receiving treatment at the Memorial Cantonment Hospital, Maiduguri, where he sympathized with them and reminded them that the country is proud of their services. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Ibrahim, NTA News.
Still on security, President Muhammadu Buhari says his administration will not relent in providing adequate security to protect lives and property of the people. He stated this in a message delivered by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, during a sympathy visit to Kopre in Hong local government area of Adamawa State after an insurgency attack. Rianu Bala reports.
The insurgency attack on Kobre community in Hong local government area of Adamawa State resulted in the loss of lives, destruction of structures with many displaced. The visit of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, to the community on behalf of President Muhammadu Buhari was not only to see things for himself, but to assure victims of the attack of provision of adequate security measures to save their lives and property. He called on the community leaders to always collaborate with security agencies in terms of information sharing as part of measures to address the security challenges.
We are going to take steps, and the steps will be quite effective to ensure that at least this menace is curtailed as much as possible.
The victims were presented with food items, clothing and other relief materials to cushion some of the effects of the attack. The district head of Dagoba thanked the delegation for the visit.
We believe that whatever challenges the communities are facing and whatever things that are needed to secure the community will definitely be achieved.
In Yola, Rayanu Bala, NTA News.
And reports reaching out say the Federal Road Safety Corps has confirmed that at least 12 people have lost their lives in a tanker explosion on Sunday in Oshubudu, Agatu local government area of Benue State. The tanker conveying petroleum products was said to have lost control and exploded in flames. Sector Commander, FRSC Benue State Command Yakubu Mohammed told NTA News that the tanker fell at the Oshubudu Obaji junction, destroying major parts of the community. An eyewitness and former member of the Benue State House of Assembly, Dixon Sule, also confirming the incident, said several vehicles and motorcycles were engulfed in the inferno, and efforts to get the fire service were not successful as residents within the community had to scamper for safety. Bodies of the dead persons are said to have been deposited at the mortuary. Now, about 200 Niger Delta militants in Ondo State have been trained and graduated from the Presidential Amnesty Program for the Train, Employ and Mentor Program. Olubumi Irojo reports that the program is in conjunction with Bradama International Skill Works, Agbadagba, Obo, Ogun States.
The amnesty program for repentant Niger Delta militants was initiated in 2009 to achieve peace and development in the oil-rich region, paving the way for their disarmament, mobilization and reintegration. The present administration has continued the robust implementation of the initiative through provision of needed resources. This has led to the graduation of 200 ex-Niger Delta militants who are no longer in the creeks of Niger Delta but have been trained in various vocational skills like industrial painting, welding and scaffolding.
By this, I can go and establish my own and employ other people from the Niger Delta region.
I enjoy the training and I capture one or two things to go and build a skill tomorrow.
The Chief Executive Officer, Bradama, Bibo Pere Ajube and other critical stakeholders enjoined the students to make use of the skills acquired by contributing to the development of the Niger Delta region and the nation at large.
Don't waste this skill. Please, don't waste the money that they spend for your head.
Your skill is to transform you, to make you not only a peace advocate, but to be a spreader of prosperity and opportunities for us.
We will, in the northeastern region, be able to say that the Niger Delta is the safest place to live and do business in Nigeria.
The graduation ceremony is the 6th edition under the federal government Bradama Skills Initiative, established in 2011 to create job and vocational skills in the Niger Delta region. In Akure, Olubumi Rojo, NTA News.
And still talking security, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, has advocated collective efforts by stakeholders and seeking divine intervention in tackling the security challenges confronting the country. Pastor Adeboye said this when he was hosted by Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi at the Government House at Ekiti. Kola Adeboye reports.
Concerned about spates of insecurity in some parts of the country, ranging from banditry to armed robbery, kidnapping, and farmer herders clashes, Pastor Adeboye noted that a lot needs to be done by relevant stakeholders to curb the trend and ensure adequate protection of lives and property of Nigerians to achieve expected development.
I can assure you we are crying to the Lord of hosts that he will fight this battle for us and give us victory very soon. Untiring, relentless effort in ensuring that our country gets better.
The cleric offered prayers for Ekiti State and the nation at large for divine intervention for an end to the nation's challenges. In Ado Ekiti, Kola Adeboye, NTA News.
As part of efforts towards the containment of the spread of COVID-19, the Ansarudin Society has held a public lecture to disabuse the minds of the public on the myth about the pandemic and its vaccination. Our Gimba, who attended the 26th annual Ramadan and special prayers for the nation, now reports.
It was gathering of faithful from different parts of the FCT to the annual Ramadan lecture, which had been the tradition of Ansarudin Society, Abuja branch. Considering the challenges posed by the effects of COVID-19 pandemic to corporate and business world economically, guest speaker elaborated on the theme Islamic perspective on COVID-19 and vaccination. Sheikh Muhyiddin Ajani Bello reiterated the need for everyone to be vaccinated. According to scholars in Islamic history, the world has plagues and pandemic just like what is being experienced.
We are part of societies. Countries all over the world are taking it. We should also take it. COVID-19 is real. And this is the way we are going to mobilize and sensitize the Nigerian populace.
Just have to take that vaccination because it will help us.
That is very important that we should take the vaccine.
A special prayer was observed for peace and well-being of the nation. Hawagimba, NTA News.
Still on vaccination, no fewer than 3,000 intended programs out of the 3,366 allocated to Katsina State have so far received the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccination. Dauda Mohammed has details.
The vaccination exercise is in compliance with the directive of the National Hajj Commission that all this year's intending pilgrims across the globe must be vaccinated against the deadly disease of COVID-19. This necessitated the board to tour all the 3 senatorial district zones for the administering of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. Speaking after the exercise to NTA News, Suleiman Kuki explained that it was successful as no resistance from any pilgrim at all the zones.
Vaccination is one of the preparations that we are taking along so that we, before the time, we make sure that each and every intended pilgrim have gotten the 2 doses of the vaccine. We have done the first dose now. Hopefully, after 8 to 12 weeks, we will give them the second dose.
He commended the state government and other relevant agencies for making the vaccines available for all the intended pilgrims in the state, saying that this will assist immensely in making a hitch-free Hajj exercise this year. Some of the intended pilgrims also expressed satisfaction with the smooth conduct of the exercise. They also reiterated their support and cooperation to the government, both at home and at the Holy Land, towards 2020 Hitch-free Hajj exercise. In Katsina, Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Away from containment of COVID-19, President General Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Professor George Obiozor, has called on Nigerians to remain committed and support the federal government in ensuring an indivisible Nigeria. He spoke to the media on insecurity in the southeastern part of the country in Abuja. Oyeyemi Ajayi reports.
Convergence of Igbos from 19 northern states and the FCT. This gathering is to bring to the fore a voice through the leadership of the Ohanaeze Ndigbo. Saddened with the spate of violence in parts of the country, the President General emphasized that Igbos are entrepreneurial people who do not want violence but peace in the country. While supporting the federal government in the fight against perpetrators of social vices in the country, the call for transparency and equality amongst Nigerians was again restated.
We are not at war with anybody, are we? No. What Igbos want is a fair and fair playing field.
We all love Nigeria. We all want to belong here. We have no other country, so we must work together to make it one.
Igbos are industrious and they believe in the one united, strong Nigeria.
The group condemned proponents of hate speech while calling for recognition of true federalism. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Niger State government is evolving a systemic approach to curb incessant security challenges bedeviling the state through the inauguration of a committee against substance abuse and other related crimes. To achieve this feat, the state government is collaborating with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and other relevant stakeholders. Oriyomi Olagunju completes the story.
In Niger State, this harmful habit of abusing prescription drugs, psychotropic substance, and cannabis sativa among students and adults have been identified as causative factor for other violent crimes. The Niger State government is collaborating with the NDLEA as a leading agency in the fight against illicit drug and its peddlers.
It behoves on all agencies saddled with this task to ensure its successful implementation, with the aim of bringing substance abuse and other related crime to its barred minimum in Niger State. We thank the state governor for the provision of 3 vehicles and other necessary logistics for the purpose of this assignment.
The high-powered committee, headed by State Deputy Governor Ameketo, head of security agencies, youth and religious leaders, is to work out modalities on how to stem wave of crime in the state. In Mina, Oriyomi Olagunju, NTA News.
The Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development has flagged off the disbursement of 20,000 naira cash grant to 28,000 rural women in Cross River State. Paul Abel reports that beneficiaries were drawn from the 18 local government areas of the state.
More than 12 million households of the poorest of the poor and the vulnerable, including persons with disabilities, have benefited from these interventions. For Ita Asoko Eyo and other beneficiaries, the intervention by federal government is commendable, as the grant will help improve their living standards.
I will use the money and buy more oil and sell.
To give them that enablement to do to others as they did to me.
I really thank them sincerely for what they have done for us.
Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, represented by the national coordinator of the program, and the state government say the measure is to drastically reduce poverty in Nigeria.
We believe that this 20,000 will become bigger amounts of money. It will re-energize their small businesses and possibly employ not only them, but employ others and create wealth.
I expect them to do exceedingly well. I've always said it, the future of Nigeria is women.
If this trend is sustained by the federal government, it is hopeful that by the year 2030, over 100 million will be taken out of poverty. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Now, following the crisis which resulted in deaths and destruction of property in communities in Esen Udom local government area of the state, the wife of Akwa Ibom State Governor Martha Udom Emmanuel has donated relief items to internally displaced persons in the communities. The Catholic Bishop of Ikot Ekmene Diocese, Bishop Camillus Umo, received the items. Emedion Umo reports.
Not fewer than 5,000 persons from the 12 communities in Esienodom local government area were displaced during the crisis in the area. To cushion the plight of the displaced persons, the government has donated 200 bags of rice, 10 bags of gari, 10 bags of beans, 5 cartons of seasoning, 12 bags of salt, among others, to them at St. Anne's Cathedral in Ikot Ekmene local government area.
We thank Her Excellency very, very sincerely.
Your church and your premises can home for these people that have been seriously traumatized.
Also ensure that most of their facilities that were destroyed are also fixed.
The challenge now before the displaced persons is how to return back to their communities after their properties have been destroyed. Emedion Umo, NTA News.
To infrastructure, the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing has expressed government's commitment towards the speedy completion of the Newman Cham Road and other road projects across the country for rapid economic growth. The Director of Highways, Construction and Rehabilitation of the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, Olufunsho Adebi, stated this at inspection of the Newman Cham Road in Adamawa State. Abdullahi Ayuba Dalwa reports.
The reconstruction of 46.3-kilometer Chamnuma Road in Adamawa State is aimed at changing the negative narrative of the road. Work is now progressing steadily. The road project, when completed, will reduce the difficulties experienced by the people and improve economic development in the area.
So far, at least, we have seen a little bit of progress as far as the fixing of the road is concerned, but we have really suffered over the years.
Inspecting the road, the Director of Highways Construction and Rehabilitation, Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, Olufonshu Adebi, expressed satisfaction with the pace and quality of the work and promised the federal government's commitments to ensure speedy completion of all federal government roads in the country.
We are working on the road to fix it as quickly as possible. The contractor has been instructed not to stop work until this road is completed. Not only that, by the time we have this road finished, you will be proud of what you see.
By the grace of God, as we are doubling our effort, the remaining section will not take us the long time.
The managing director handling the road project, Wang Bishan, said the firm will not relent in its effort in ensuring quality reconstruction of the project. In Ola, Abdullahi Ayubadalwa, NTA News.
President Muhammad Buhari congratulates the chairman of the Police Service Commission, Muslim Smith, on his 75th birthday. President Buhari described the former Inspector General of Police and ex-head of the Lagos State Security Council as an outstanding officer who had served Nigeria with great deal. As the chairman of the PSC, Smith bears the tremendous responsibility of modernizing the police force in a way that reflects the hopes and aspirations of the citizens. President Buhari wishes him the very best in carrying out the task. Similarly, the All Progressives Congress National Stalwart Asiwaju Bola Tinubu congratulates the former Inspector General of Police, Alhaji Musliu Smith, as he clocks 75, describing him as a patriot and statesman who has contributed immensely to the unity and togetherness of Nigeria. And talking sports now, football action continues in the second tier of Nigeria's domestic football league as Amanza Marcus reports on Sports Updates.
All the 12 teams in Group B1 of the Nigerian National League have played 11 matches, with 3 AC of Ibadan leading with 28 points. Go-round of River State follow in second position with 17 points. The 13 teams in Group B2 have, however, played 12 matches, as Remo FC tops, having earned 24 points. Bendel Insurance are third, while Gateway occupy the 5th position with 19 points from 12 matches. Meanwhile, 25% of football fans calculated on the basis of each stadium's capacity will be allowed to return to watch live football matches in the ongoing football season in Ghana. The Ghanaian government, which announced the decision, equally tasked the Ghana Football Association to ensure COVID-19 protocols are strictly adhered to. The 2-day Southeast Athletics competition has ended at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, Enugu, with the hosts winning with a total of 20 medals. Anambra as second, followed by Imo State third with 3 gold, 6 silver and a solitary bronze to earn a total of 10 medals. Nsukka High School won the invitational 4x100 meters relay. Under 20 athletes competed in the sprints, middle distance, relays and jumps, and was organized by former athletes to discover younger athletes to represent Nigeria in future competitions. With less than 100 days to the commencement of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, organizers are working hard to reassure athletes and other stakeholders that all will be fine during the July 23 to August 8 games. President of the International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach, is expected to visit Japan in May as the country expands quasi-emergency COVID-19 measures to 10 regions. We are not thinking of cancelling the Olympics, said Tokyo 2020 President Saiko Hashimoto, in reaction to calls that the games be cancelled or postponed. With Sports Update, Amanzi Marcus, NTA News.
Next is a look at what the weather would look like tomorrow, Monday.
Glad you could join us. Here's what we should expect for Monday. The southern half of the country should be very much cloudy in the morning, with a few thunderstorms over parts of Rivers, Bayelsa, and Akwa Ibom. The central region will be in partly cloudy to cloudy atmosphere, while the extreme north will see partly cloudy skies with more of the sunny spells over the northeastern region. There are still chances of thunderstorms over Taraba in the morning, and by afternoon into evening period, we expect isolated thunderstorms over Adamawa, Taraba, Kaduna, Kebbi, including parts of Kwara, Niger, Jos, Abuja, Kogi, and Nasarawa. And we expect the bulk of the weather systems in the southern region, giving more thunderstorms over the region in the late afternoon into evening period. And that's the forecast for Monday. Please join us again.
And that ends the news segment of the program. Don't forget to connect with us at the NTA Stand Against Rape and Rapists. More to come with Becky after the break. To stay with us.